Hi, my name's Howard. Welcome back to my channel. Second video, still a little bit nervous. Unfortunately, the heat has killed me. I have MS and I'll talk about that briefly. So if you're not interested in my medical problems, you could either just sit and play it or turn over. I did have two sales actually this week. I sold a jigsaw for £10, which isn't too bad. It's a 2000 piece jigsaw, and I think I bought it for £1. And I sold, what else did I sell? Oh, I sold two DVDs for what I call feedback fodder on my eBay. And there was something else I sold, can't remember. But there was something else I sold. Um, anyway, back to me. 2020-ish started off. I felt really ill in work, and I still remember the day. I remember my boss walking into his office and saying it feels like I'm dying inside. And he's he says, "Oh, go on, you'll be fine. You must be eating something, or you'll be good." I said, "No," I said, "I really feel like I'm dying inside." And I went to the doctor's, got an emergency appointment, and I took bloods, and it came back. And the doctor actually phoned me back while I was in work that night, and they did it quite quick. And they phoned me back that night to say, "You've got to get to the hospital. You're really ill." So that really cheered me up. So I dived down to the hospital, had loads and loads of tests, and in the end, it was quite clear. Simple blood test in the end. It was pretty good. Um, it's called amylase level. The amylase level should be something like 400, I think it was, and mine was something like 24,000. So it wasn't good. But yeah, I was really ill. I got kept in hospital, and excuse my dog, Luna, stop it. Taken into hospital. I was there for 2 weeks. Luna, stop it. Ate nothing at all. All I had to drink was, I think it was water. I think that's all I drank. But after 2 weeks, I wasn't too bad, so they let me out. Gave me a strict diet to stick to, which obviously I didn't. Um, the diet they gave me was actually impossible to stick to. It really was impossible. So, like every bloke, he'll work it out himself. And I cracked on. And then I don't know, it was about 6 months later, I had another attack. Back into hospital I went. Um, Same thing. And by this stage, I was wasting away. I got to be honest, I was 14 stone. And by the end of the situation, by the scenario, I'd gone down to 11 stone. I'm 6'1", and like 11 stone for me, I was just skin and bone basically. All my muscles are gone, and what muscles I had, and I just thought, well, this is for life now. I've got to get on with it. So try to stick to the diet this time, which was impossible. Um, and basically, your pancreas digests your food. My pancreas was dying. It's shaped like a tadpole, and it basically eats itself when it gets ill. So it had eaten the tail part of the tadpole situation, and so you can't digest your food. Whatever you eat just goes straight through you, and you don't get any goodness, any protein, nothing at all. It's horrible. So dealt with all of that, got over that, and blew me down. Another 6 months, same thing happened. So back into hospital I go. My work's loved me. I was off work so much, and this time it's slightly different. Because I'd been in twice before and I knew basically what to do. And you never saw a doctor. I think I saw the doctor once the first time, once the second time, the third time I didn't even see a doctor. Um, and again, they just went on bloods. So they sorted that out, and they said, yeah, pancreatitis straight away. So I was in hospital, and I got an infection while I was there. It was quite a bad one. It was just at the time when all the the flesh eating disease was around in the hospitals. So I was pretty scared at the time, I'll be honest. And I had a temperature that you would not believe. I was literally melting. And in Heath Hospital, in the Cardiff Hospital, they always have the heating on, so it is quite extremely hot in there anyway. So they realised I had an infection, to me a separate ward, like an isolation ward. I must have had about 10 cameras, 10 fans all around me. I sat or lying next to the window, which they'd opened, and had every single fan that they could find blowing cold air onto me, which was, it brought the temperature down, but I was freezing, I got to be honest. But it cured, they cured the infection, and the word I did say, doctor, tell her, like, and he said, you're really unlucky. He said, most people with pancreatitis only have one episode every 10 years. He said, you've had three in less than 18 months. So, yeah, great. So anyway, I get through all of that. I come out of hospital, and it was a very strange, I thought I still had an infection. It was very strange. From the very top of my finger, I can't really see it on my glasses. From the very top of my fingers, I don't know if you've ever eaten a large packet of salt and vinegar crisps. Your fingers go a little bit numb. Well, that's what happened with mine. The fingers in my right hand started to go numb, and I thought, well, that's a bit strange. And then it very quickly moved up to my knuckles. Just about there it worked up to. And then again, I'm back in work at this stage, and I was working, and I was working 50, 60, 70 hour weeks, 5 days a week, doing night shifts and doing weekends as well. So, because I was a workaholic, basically, I loved work as well. But excuse me. So where was I? This is what happens. Oh yeah, so the numbness started there, and very quickly it just rose and rose, and it got to there, and within a week it got up my forearm to there, and that's when I started to panic about the flesh eating disease and everything else, and I thought this isn't right, and then it went past my elbow, and that's when I really got scared then, because it was a case of my fingers were tingling and I couldn't feel anything up to there. And I made some doctor's appointments, and it was a long, drawn-out scenario. It was really bad. Um, by this stage, it's going up my legs. My left arm was affected, and my balance was getting quite bad. So, excuse me. He did loads of tests on me, and it worked out one a month. It was a long process. It was about 8 months, I suppose. And the worst one they did was a spinal tap. That was quite nasty. Well, I wouldn't say it was nasty. They all said it was nasty. I got to be honest, I didn't really feel it. The worst thing about the spinal tap was the headache after. You have a headache from hell. If anyone has a spinal tap, drink a can of Coke before and a can of Coke after. There's something in Coke, the caffeine actually stops the headaches from happening. So they did all of that, and at this stage I'm still suffering with pancreatitis, and I still got pain every time I eat and when I do eat. So I was on a drug called Oromorph. And this one particular day, I always remember, so does Penny, my wife, I lost the spoon, the actual measuring thing, and you had to measure it, and I can't remember the dosage I was. I was in agony, so I thought, I know what to do. I know the dosage. I know how much it feels in my mouth when I take it. I'm just going to swig it from the bottle and just guide. Anyway, not a good idea. OD'd on it, basically. I was so ill. I didn't stop. Throwing up. I went to bed. I was fine. Went to bed. And in the morning, I just threw up and up and up. And I was meant to be going to the hospital for an eye test for what I now know is MS. So I'm throwing. My wife had to run down because she didn't drive then. She ran down the doctors to get an anti-sickness pill, um, and I had to phone my mum because I couldn't drive. I couldn't drive when I was throwing up. Phoned my mum. Can you come and get me? Take me to Heath Hospital. So she drove me down there, and I got a carrier bag next to me in case I'm ill. Walk in the hospital with a carrier bag. Sat down, had the eye test, and I'd explained to the woman. I said, I do apologise, I'm sick, but I've been sick all morning. And she thought it was funny, but I got to be honest. But anyway, did the eye test, and that came back bad as well. So then eventually caught up with the MS professor, Robinson, I think it was, in Cardiff, and got called in. At this stage, I didn't know what was wrong with me. My wife second guessed it because she's a part-time doctor, as most women are. And went in there, and he said, "I'm sorry, you got MS." And I said, "Well, are you sure?" And he said, "Are you 100% sure?" Because I didn't know. And he said, "Well, you failed all the tests." He said, "We did five. I think it was 5 or 7. I can't remember. Say it was 5." He said, "You failed all the tests." So he said, "Yeah, you've got MS." So long story short, I had pancreatitis, MS, still stayed in work, and got involved with the MS Society then, quite a lot. I'm going to add some pictures, or my wife's going to add some pictures if I can find them on my phone. I did a wing walk for the MS Society, which was an amazing day. I did, what else did I do? I did a parachute jump. No, skydiving. I went skydiving, that's it. And then I walked across a suspension bridge. So I did quite a few things, raising money. I did a sponsored walk, that was fun. And I thought, well, I wanted to get involved. So then I took over the Cardiff branch of the MS Society, as I think it was chairman or president or what it was. Joined the MS Society, then became what was it? I was an ambassador. I was I was on the membership board anyway, which represents Wales across the whole country. So it's really good going, but it wasn't going as fast as I would have liked, because I say I am or used to be a workaholic, and everything on there was so slow with regulations, and you have to do things, which I understand that, but it was just too slow for me. And in the end, I sort of resigned from the board I was on, and then resigned from running Cardiff, because it just the people with MS in Cardiff, and I've been to other groups around. I went to, there you go, Monmouth, Bridgend. I've seen a couple of groups around the place, and they are so lively. Cardiff people are just like, they weren't up to my work ethic, shall we say. Um, and I used to cut corners on regulations in work, so but they didn't want to do that, so fair enough. So I came off that and thought, right, I still need a hobby. So I thought, well, I've always bought and sold, always done it. So I'm going to go into eBay and see what I can do on that. And that's worked quite well. Quite well. It keeps me really busy. Go sourcing and find things, and it brings a little bit of extra money in. But it did, the thing about MS is that people don't realise. Thank you for the lady who reached out to me in the comments. Before I forget, how rude. Thank you very much for all your lovely comments. Thank you for the subscribes. I do appreciate it. I was well bowled over for my first video. I was expecting 1 view, and I think I've had over I think it's over 60 or 90 now. So thank you very much for that. I much appreciated. Uh, with MS, people don't always understand it because I've had it since I was diagnosed. Because you look, especially if you get a suntan, all I could do is drive in the car for 2 seconds with the sun out, and I get an instant suntan. And everyone thinks, "Oh, you look well. You've been abroad, are you?" No. Um, oh, you look very well. I said, "Well, no, not actually. It doesn't matter how well you do look. Inside, you are really suffering." Um, as I said, the heat, which is one reason I haven't done much this week. I did want to go out and source things. I did want to go and do things, and I haven't. The heat is a killer for me. It just increases you fatigue wise. You could sleep all day, wake up to have a pee, and still be tired and go back to bed. It is a horrible, and it's not unless you have MS or chronic fatigue. People don't realize how bad it can be. It's not a case you're lazy or you don't want to do things. I really do want to do things. And I'd love to go and cut the grass, or I'd love to go take the dog for a walk, or go sourcing for eBay. But you just can't lift your head off the pillow. And that's one thing that people really do not see. And even my family, my own family, I've had MS now for nearly over 20 years. And oh, you look really well. You look really well. Yeah, but I'm not. My balance is shocking. I got to watch my eyesight all the time. I generally take myself to the eye. I'm going to go hopefully soon because I think that my eyes have deteriorated again. Um, the Everything sort of goes slowly, and unless you stay active, and you really got to stay active to try and help yourself. I mean, I could take the car to the shop, which is literally, I mean, it's not far, it's literally down the road. But I don't, unless I'm carrying big heavy cans or something, because I can't carry them. I normally try to walk there. I got a walking stick. Um, I always take the stick with me because my balance is so bad. I use it just as a support to keep my balance sort of stable. Um, and it takes a lot of effort to sometimes go out as well. I never had anxiety, never. I always was not shy. Anybody who knows me wouldn't tell you that. I'm not shy in speaking to people. But with MS and the pandemic on top of that, um, it does give you some sort of anxiety, not all the time. Once I'm out, generally I'm fine. It's just like making the effort to get out. I really got to push myself to get out there. I hope it's not all doom and gloom. This it shouldn't. Hopefully not. It's just a little story. Well, not a story. It's just my life, so you can get to know me a bit better. And hopefully the weather has broken along last. We are expecting rain tonight, and the trees outside are blowing quite a lot. So hopefully we'll have a downpour, cool the air down a bit, and I'll be okay. It's annoying because I was in Tunisia about 35 years ago on a holiday, and it was the hottest year they've ever had. It was 50 degrees in the shade. And that's a story for another time. But yeah, it was really hot. The first year I ever got suntanned in my life, and ever since then, now I just see the sun for 2 seconds and I suntan straight away. It's very strange. So I think that's about it. Yeah, done a lot with the MS Society. I would recommend if you do suffer from MS, join a group that you can relate to and help you. I have nothing now to do with the MS Society. As I said, I found they didn't go fast enough for me. That's all it was. They're a good group of people, but it didn't. I don't like going around in circles, and that's what it felt like I was doing with the MS Society. So yeah, but if you have got MS or you suspect you have, join the society, and they will help you out. Um, yeah, that was, and then of course last month, then I go down. I survived all of the lockdown with the pandemic, and my daughter comes in. She's a travel agent, my daughter, and she tests us out nearly every day in work. And she came in and she said, "Dad, I think you better test yourself." She said, "I think you got COVID." I said, "I haven't got COVID. I'm fine." So I said, "Right, just to shut you up, I'll do it." And then what happened? You guessed it. Yep, COVID. So my daughter had COVID as well. So I'm in my youngest daughter's bedroom, isolated. My eldest daughter is in her bedroom, isolated. And sort of we're testing in and out. Now all this time I'm fine, nothing at all. Um, so my daughter then, she has two clears, so of course she can go downstairs and mix with people. So I'm going, okay, let's do mine. Still positive. Next day, still positive. I am fuming because my daughter's laughing her head off now at me, and she goes, "Is you right?" I said, "There's nothing wrong with me. That's what people. If you saw me, it's the best I've ever looked in my life. I had so much sleep. I caught up on all Netflix box sets. It was brilliant. My food was brought to me. My drinks were brought up to me. It was brilliant. It was like a mini holiday. I just didn't go anywhere. But yeah, but my oldest daughter, she thought it was really funny. So she said, "Do another test, Dad, do another test." And she said, "You've got to have two clears." I said, "I know." So it's a minimum 2 days. So I did another test, and at long last it came clear. So I was well excited. And she brought my tray up to me for some food. And she said, "Dad, you've got another red line." I said, I said, "You are joking." I said, "You got a red pen and you're doing that." And she said, "No." So I had a look. I went, "Oh my God." So that was another 2 days I had to stay there. So I eventually got through. I had two clear tests. And even though I didn't feel there was nothing wrong with me, thank God, um, I had no symptoms of anything at all. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to think what else. I go into work at a later date. I did have some reach out. I had a reach out from my old boss, or one of my old bosses. Um, I will do another story. I was a school caretaker, and one headmistress actually reached out to me, and she's one of my favourite people. I got to be honest. If she watches this, she knows she's one of my favourite people. And her husband's brilliant as well. I met her husband. But it's quite sad. I don't know if the person watching with the MS has found the same. It's not catchable. You can't catch MS. If you touch people, you kiss people, I cannot give it to anyone else. But it's strange, isn't it? I mean, I had to retire. I lost my job, lost my house, I had to retire early um, because of MS, basically, because I couldn't do the job. And I was working in the same place for nearly 30 years. Yeah, 30 years. And everyone's gone. Everyone's gone. It's like nobody even contacts you. And that's what I find quite sad. Um, People could say you could reach out yourself. And I said, well, I could, but sometimes, especially when you're ill, you think that people would actually reach out and say hi. So if you're watching and you haven't reached out, just say hi. Um, and I will try and answer all your comments. I think I have done this time. And we shall see where we go. Now, hopefully, I'm going to cut this here because I will get depressed otherwise. Hopefully, next week will be a bit cooler and I can actually get off the settee and out of bed and do something because it keeps you fit as well. If you have got any sort of illness and you are stuck in a house, I try to move, walk to the shops rather than take the car. Even if it takes you half an hour to get it. I always say, just remember, you've got to get back. I told my doctor off for that. He said, "Oh, you could do that easy." I said, "Oh, you could." I said, "But I won't get back." But yeah, always remember, you've got to go back. Um, But you could go to the local shops, you could do things, and I'm sure little steps at a time, as someone once said to me, baby steps. But anyways, strange sort of video, I know, especially after last time. Um, my memory isn't good. I got to be honest. MS, you get brain fog, as my wife Penny always says. She gets brain fog, but you do, and my memory is shocking. I got to be honest. My long-term memory, and that's part of MS. My long-term memory isn't bad. My short-term memory is absolutely shocking. If you told me something now, walked out the door and come back, the chances are I wouldn't remember what you said is bad. But you do get used to things. I got to be honest. You do get used to things. But we shall see how it goes. I found a new place. I said the one day I did get out this week. I did find a new place to go sourcing, which is very good. I'm keeping that one to myself. And I shall love you and leave you. If you do, it's not always doom and gloom, my videos. It's just I couldn't get off the bed this week. About one day. If you do like the video, and if you've got anything you would like to ask me, just click the subscribe button, click the like button, and click the bell button as well, to let you know when I'm on. It's going to be a Thursday or Friday. I want to try and do it on a Thursday, but I missed out last week by one day, and again I've missed out this week by one day. But my aim is to get it out on a Thursday. I don't know why. It just always seems a good day. But you take care of yourselves. Send me any questions, any comments, and hopefully see you soon. Okay, take care. Bye.